Please give it up for Angelica Scanura.
Hey there. Oh my gosh. This is so exciting. Yes, this is a spot. This is actually where I used to work for 4 months before I got fired. The actual place. Now, it was not a rub and tug. I just want to be very clear. I did customer service. Okay. And every time I tell people that, they're like, customer service, customer service. But it was an actual spot, had 4 floors. You had the basement where you got your mani-pedis, the first floor where you check in, the second floor where you change into your robe, and there's also a bakery. That's where I worked. And then the 4th floor where you get massages. So it was 4 floors. It was hell. I mean, I thought that because I liked going to a spa that I would like working in one, but not the case. The guy that hired me was also very strange, right? He hired me. I was like, that's it. I'm working in a spa, right? Get 40% off of waxing. Yes, you know, that's the most hairless I've ever been in my life, by the way. Okay, was when I worked there. But the manager, so he hires me and he has this picture of his kids behind him in his office, like bosses usually do, right? And I'm like, oh, you got some cute kids there, a couple of babies. And he's like, yes, that's Charlie and Ryan. And I'm like, oh, cute little boys. And he's like, they're girls. And he was mad at me for not just realizing. Like, kind of seems like you wanted sons by those names. But anyway, speaking of names, so to work at the spa, they didn't allow people that if there were 2 Jennifers, one of the Jennifers had to change their name. All right. So you couldn't have 2 people working in the spa with the same name. So when I get there, they're like, you're hired. One thing though, there's already another Angelica working here. I'm like, okay, you have to change your name. I'm like, okay. I then find out that the girl that's Angelica that's working there, her real name's not Angelica. Her real name's Melanie. And she had to change her name when she got hired because there was another Melanie that was working there at the time who's no longer working there anymore. So I can't be real Angelica because there's a fake Angelica there. So I changed my name to Shiloh because that's when Brangelina had their first biological child, very long time ago. No, I'm in the groove with pop culture. I am now Shiloh, right? Now I used to, oh my gosh, I only have a few minutes left. This is the first time I'm ever telling this story publicly. I usually just whine to my mother about it. I worked on the 2nd floor with this woman named Barb, who was 60 years old at the time. I was 20, and we used to have a riot. We used to play this game. If somebody came onto the floor, took a look at the change rooms are this way sign, and then came up to us and said, where are the change rooms? We'd spit water on them as they walked away.
Oh my God.
Now, this is very bad behavior, but we used to play a game, who could spit the furthest water without hitting the person. So Barb and I would do that. You know, somebody would come out of the elevator, they'd see the sign, they'd wander up to us because they're all fucking relaxed and shit, right? Who has time for that at a spa? I don't. This is why I was the worst, by the way. But she comes up to us, right? She goes, where's the change room? I go, it's that way. She turns around. Barb and I get our water ready. We spit. And just as the water leaves our mouths, she turns around to ask us another question. And I didn't get fired for that. No, I did not get fired for that, but I got sent down to the basement. I got separated from my friend Barb. Barb and I got separated, but she's like, hey, you know, I have a really hot son. I think you guys would hit it off. So I started having sex with her son, and it was great. And like, you know, it was fine. You know, I don't know if I liked having sex with him as much as I liked going over to her place for snacks and a gossip. You know, it was like that. I'd have sex with her son, and then I'd be like, all right, now what's Barb up to in the living room?
Wow.
So anyways, Barb and I got separated. I got sent down to the basement. I have 2 minutes left. I'm aware I'm timing myself. But anyways, so the basement was like nothing going on. Nobody ever got pedicures because they just go to the Vietnamese salons, which were cheaper and they did a better job, quite frankly, right? So we've got these $85 shit pedicures. So nobody's in the basement. And at the end of the day, I had to carry this water jug up to the 4th floor to empty. They had like infused water, cucumber bullshit stuff. It's like, oh, I'm drinking infused water. Oh my gosh. It's like, it's fucking cucumbers and cherries in a goddamn cup. Get over it. So at the end of the day, my boss said you had to carry the water jug. You couldn't take the elevator because that was for guests. So I had to take 4 flights of stairs with this freaking full ass water jug that nobody ever drank from. So Barb was like, you know what you can do? Just pick the fruit out, flush it down the toilet, put the ice in the sink, and then take the empty basin upstairs. So I started doing that. And it was a pretty sweet life, right? I was leaving work right on time, didn't have to waste time, waiting for the spa to close before I took it up to drain everything out, right? Anyways, the next morning I come to work and my boss is holding a cherry and he goes, do you recognize this? I was like, no. He's like, I found this in the toilet last night. I'm like, God damn, get a life. Anyway, I got fired, and that's my story about working in the service industry. So excited to watch the rest of you. My name's Angelica Skinura. Have a good night.
Hell yeah, Angelica. That is amazing.